Let's get into this, everybody. Let's do it. Another night, NHL 14, the Buffalo Sabres. And I'm ready to see if we can kind of lead the way to glory for these boys. We did look at the free agent list last night. Again, there wasn't too much going on. The only offer that we really had out was for Justin Falk, who is lowballing himself for whatever reason. And the Makarov was ours, and then there's Sebastian Ogier that we're also looking to pick up. So there really wasn't too much for us to do in free agency, which I am all right with. Although it is worth noting Corbinian Holzer is also looking for dirt cheap. But what we were going to do off stream, and hello to everybody filing in. I am doing phenomenally well, and I hope you were doing the same. I was going to go through the team and kind of be like, all right, here's the core. And I didn't have time to do that. So let's do it right now, essentially. That also means LTIR has to be signed. So that's going to take a while. But in goal, we'll have Makarov, we'll have Whitney. We have one other goalie, which does mean that we need one kind of free agent goalie who's half decent, or honestly, a proper backup for Andrei Makarov. So let's go see what's out there. Let's do it. And again, we don't want it to be somebody who's too good to take away time from Makarov. Could be bringing back Kevin Poulin, who's been good. Martin Jones. Svedberg, we've had the past few seasons. Ben Scrivezna. Just beautiful. Darcy Kemper. I'm not against having good goaltending this year. Let's give Martin Jones a chance. Why not? Around this time, Martin Jones actually wasn't that bad. His asking price is much higher than what it set my thing to, but that's okay. There we go. So we'll try to bring in Martin Jones as a backup. Ranta. There were plenty of options, but when in doubt, meme it out, Martin Jones. Defensively, oh God. So Myers and Laxo, McNabb and Walser, who we just drafted, McElrath, Zadorov. That is probably the NHL 6, right? I mean, you could argue maybe that's pushing Zadorov to the NHL a bit too soon, but he's a 76, and he might even be better by the start of the season. So the AHL is presumably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're looking at 2 defensemen, roughly. And I don't think either of them need to be NHL caliber. One of those defensemen, of course, is going to be Justin Falk, should he sign. So was there a free agent who was half decent? We've had Jerome Gauthier-Leduc on the team the last couple of seasons. Let's bring him back. Why not? There's no morale system that'll make people happy about it, but that should be fun. What do I think of Matt Poitras on the Bruins? He is phenomenal, and he should be a Bruin for the next 25 years. So those are my thoughts. Pretty straightforward and simple, huh? Let's see. In terms of natural right wingers, we really don't have too many of them. Not that you have to play people within their proper role, but man, could we use some help there. Because Mark Stone is borderline there. We did indeed trade Patrick Kane, yes. We did indeed. So I would say 3 NHL caliber right wings, probably, with another 3 to 4 AHLs, basically. The left wing side, Marcel Dagneau would have to be in junior, so we're not going to sign him. Barbashev's ready, which means we're probably looking at 2 NHL caliber left wings, because we do have John Scott. The AHL will be Draisaitl, Safronov, Saprikin, Beaverson, maybe. Probably like 1 AHL left wing. And then center-wise, Girgensons, Verkkonen, Grigorenko. We're pretty good for centers. Yeah, we're pretty good for center. Probably like 1 AHL caliber center. Then we should be fine. Thoughts on the NHL Edge data? They need to work on the website a little bit, but it's nice information to have. In terms of using it for roster editing, I mean, right now I have no plans to roster edit. The patch that is coming out is going to fix like the scrolling issue and the defensive potential issue, stuff like that. But as it is, franchise mode isn't worth playing. And I don't necessarily have the confidence that it will get to that point. So I don't necessarily like the idea of putting in the time to roster edit for franchise mode only to then have franchise mode not ever be worth it, you know? You get what I'm saying? All right, so let's see. For AHL purposes, we got Jonas Donskoy, Eero Pakarainen. Baseball fan, what's going on? Let's go for Logan Shaw, just because, again, we need some filler players. And we'll also go for Gregory Hoffman. And then we need 3 NHL caliber dudes. Hello, Crash Andrews. How are you? 3 NHL caliber dudes. We could go for Jan Mursak. You know, he was really good in the AHL. He deserves to be at the NHL level. I like how it's making me offer dudes way less money than what they actually want. It's very funny. So, Steve Downey, Palmieri. We can just look for kind of fun names. If there are super fun names. Ben Hanowski was only 25. We can bring him in. And I need one more dude for that right wing side. Shout out to former Portland Pirates, Scott Arnold. What a man. Jay Loss, thank you for the raid. How are you? Derek Dorsett, Steve Bernier, Joby Crab. Jonathan Chichu. One more run for Jonathan Chichu. Oh, it's got to be Mark Mancari. I'm playing Mark Mancari at the NHL level. Love me some Mark Mancari. Left wing side, we need 1 AHL caliber talent. It might as well be Brett Bulmer. Honestly, he might be the NHL caliber talent, but we'll sign Bulmer. And then 2 NHL caliber left wings. Honestly, Drayson Bowman and Nathan Gerby. Let's bring them back. They've been here the last couple of years. Let's bring them back if we can. I don't know why the game is like by default trying to get me to lowball these dudes. What's up with that? That's super weird. And in centers, we only needed 1 AHL caliber dude. That can be Calle Yarncroke, basically. So, works for me. Works for me. That should be us pretty well settled. Once those dudes sign, I will have to sign a cap whale or 2 and hurt my GM reputation even more. So, the Astros lost in Game 7. There has been a repeat champ in a long time. And that's good. That's good. That's good. Let's see. Gerby signs. Bowman, Falk, Hanowski, Mursak, Bulmer, Jones, Mancari, Gauthier, Leduc, Auger, Makarov, Yarncroke, Bekarainen, Donskoy. Everybody signed. 44 contracts, $39.9 million in cap space. Good Lord. Good Lord. Andy, what's up? So again, Monken was there, but he was still an RFA. Who are old men that we can give contracts to? Let's go for Tony Ludman. And again, we can't scroll to the left. We have to scroll to the right. So we're going to be here for a minute. Give me something to talk about, for the love of God. Aside from the fact that we don't know who the NLCS representative will be in the World Series. And by the time people see this on YouTube, they're going to be like, the World Series ended a month ago. And they're going to be right. So, oh, goodness, it takes so long. I'm intrigued to see just how fast the NHL 24 scrolling will be now. I'm intrigued. But about the NHL Edge stuff, again, if they fix the website, it's some valuable resources. You know, I did say, like, okay, I don't necessarily have plans to roster it. I want to. If I could know for a fact that franchise mode will be in a usable state by the time I'm done, I would gladly start roster editing. But I just don't know if I trust it. You know, NHL 23, it was like, yeah, a lot of this stuff should be changed. It wasn't. So, you know, AJ, potentially. You never know. Shout out to Taker for the gifted sub. What a man. Yeah, AJ, it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, well, if you're not going to play 24, what are you going to play? I don't know. I didn't plan on playing NHL 14, but here we are. So, you never know. You never know. You never know. In terms of what we might play here. When it looks like... when it looks like there's no set plan. Because, hey, guess what? That's always the case. There's never a set plan on what we're going to play here. You've been here long enough. You should know that. It's just, what do I feel like playing tonight? Cool, that's what I'm going to play. The end. People watch? Cool. If they don't, cool. So, Taker, I hope you're all good, though. I appreciate you. Motto around here has been no set plan for a reason, exactly. I tried to do maximum football game, depending on reviews and stuff like that, and kind of what it looks like. Games like that, I have, you know, people whose opinions on games kind of lined up with my own, and I'll kind of wait to see what they think about it. Shout out to Soft Drink TV, friend of the channel here. So, I am intrigued to see how certain games play out, you know? Like, not every kind of indie game is for me, but it'll still be like, hey, it might not be for me, but if I hear it's a good game, I'll be like, hey, check this out. The whole ODR Hockey Heroes thing. Like, I've talked to the guy that's making the game. I've let it be known, like, you know, that style of game isn't necessarily for me, but I do think it's really cool what the hell they've been able to accomplish so far and what they continue to strive for. So I'll always be like, hey, yeah, check that game out, you know? Will the Bruins name after Brad Marchand as captain of the Bruins? Charlie McAvoy. Pretty much set in stone. He is the guy. Megalodon, is supposed to be a patch tomorrow, as in Tuesday. So, Boris Blank for alternate captain. Billy wins tomorrow, either Rodolfo Castro, Austin Hedges will ring. And as a Pirates fan, that's totally unacceptable. I mean, you did say as a Pirates fan, though, and that's your first problem, is being a fan of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Because they have just done nothing but just intentionally try to murder their fan base's happiness for as long as I've been aware of baseball. So, I really did think, like, 2005-ish, 2007-ish, that it's like, man, they got Oliver Perez as a future ace. They got Jason Bay. Like, yeah, they're going to be great. Nothing happened. So, first 2 weeks of volunteer work's gone well. Good told one of my works went over really. Hey, well, AJ, congrats. Volunteer work is rather commendable, sir. So, congrats. When was the last time the Pittsburgh Pirates were good? About a decade ago? 7 to 10 years ago? You check my question. Did you have a question? What commentator that's not Jack Edwards is on the way to being the goat up there with Doc and Gary Thorne? No such thing. There's some good commentators out there. Good luck getting onto the level of Doc Emmerich and Gary Thorne. It's just that doesn't exist. That's the answer. That doesn't exist. All right, Mr. Blank. Mr. Blank. Jason York gave me a scouting report on himself. Snipe, that's pretty cool. Is he going to be... Oh, God. Who was the player from, like, NHL 94 where it's like, yeah, no, the programmer was friends with... It was Cliff Ronning, wasn't it? Where it's like, hey, I'm friends with Cliff Ronning, so I'm just going to make Cliff Ronning really goddamn good. So, that'll probably happen. Jason York will be sniping scores Cliff Ronning. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Most exciting thing to do in Maine on a weekend. Polar bear riding. Polar bear jousting, excuse me. So one person's on a polar bear, the other's on a moose, and they joust. That happens every weekend in every town across the state. The hell do you think my answer's gonna be? What fun thing do you do where you are? That's the answer. Shout out to Leroy, by the way, for the 14 months on the primer. Appreciate it. Welcome. What kind of goddamn question is that? Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Gotta stop with the viewer questions at this point. You guys are just ridiculous. Moose jousting is something I'm watching. It's going to be on ESPN 8 The Ocho. Fun fact. Everyone's favorite sport. Moose jousting.
Taste the biscuit.
And shout out to Mafaris. I know it's just probably M. Ferris, but Ferris, thank you for the primer. Appreciate it. Thank you for supporting my face in these trying times. AKA, I have to deal with this face on a daily basis. So every day is a trying time. But I do my best. I try. Damn it. All right, there we go. We finally got to the start of the regular season. We had to wait quite a bit. But let's see what we can do here. First and foremost, the GM tracker. It's going to be a long time before we can up our amateur scout, unfortunately. Did I see Sway in person in college? I did see Jeremy Swayman at least once. Not twice. I think the backup went the other time I wanted to see him play. But yeah. What am I thinking? Roster moves. Got a quick look. Because we would have had some off-season player development, I'm sure. And we did. So we have Makarov and Jones. Very nice, very nice. Whitney and Auger. Defensively, Myers, Falk, Loxo, McNabb, Walser. Oh my god. Dude, Walser went up to an 81 before ever playing a game. That's insane. We can call up McElrath. We can call up Zadorov. Actually, Zadorov's not going to need to make it. But Gautier Leduc can go down. So can Tony Ludman. Yeah, so we can keep Nikita Zadorov in the AHL for one more season. That is actually a pretty solid defense. It's a physical defense as well. I like it. Right wing side, Mursak, Hanowski got better. And we were going to bump up Mark Mancari and Mark Stone. Dude, we are going to have a big physical hockey team. Left wing side, Bowman, Gerby, Bulmer, and Scott. But Barbashev, what are we going to do here? Barbashev really took off in terms of rating. I don't want to say that's it for John Scott, but that would be the smartest decision. Hate to say it, but it might be Gerby who's on the outs. It's either Gerby or Scott who's on the outs. I think it's going to have to be Gerby. Then for our centers, Gergenson's Tyson Bailey before playing a single NHL games in 83. Yeah, Grigorenko, Larson, and then we can send down Kalle Arnkrok and keep Valtteri Virkunen in the AHL. Although, honestly, an extra season for Grigorenko in the AHL might not be the worst thing right now. Because he kind of struggled at the NHL level last season. I honestly think this team looks pretty good. I think it looks pretty damn good. So let's see. We do want to get Bowman on the other side. And we can see kind of who's best to put where. I wish Johan Larsson was listed as a two-way forward. That would be a little bit more applicable. We do want to get Mursak on the top line. I mean, I don't want to drop Bailey down to the third line. I'm a little bit worried about player types, but Barbashev, Gergensons, Mursak, Bowman, Bailey, Stone, Bulmer, Virkunen, Mancari, Scott, Larson, and Hanowski. That's not bad. That is not too shabby. Give me 1 second here. There we go. Defensively, Falk, Myers, Loxo, McNabb, Walser. Okay, Walser's got to be on a higher line, right? Or we could protect him a little bit. I do want a DFD with Loxo. But that's really not that bad. I don't know. We could be terrible this year, but at the same time, I do think we could also push towards a playoff spot. I really don't think we're that bad. And it kind of happened faster than expected. We do want the bottom two in this lineup. Ludwig Bystrom's not bad. But outside of Ludman and Biega, there's really not space for Bystrom. So let's get Alexandrov into the lineup for Alex Biega. And Tony Ludman will be out for Ekman, who we took very early on in the last draft and is unlikely to develop, but he'll play with Nikita Zadorov. So that's not too bad. Although we do need Mirko Mueller on a higher line. So that works for me. In terms of the forwards, Schofield. We do need to take him out for Jace Howerluck. Other centers, it's a little bit rough. Left wing sides, front. We actually have quite a few guys that we need to get into this lineup. Check the right wing side here. Hoffman and Baptiste. It's going to be tough. Going to have to prioritize people here. Let's get Saprikin in for, I think it's Matt Ellis. It might be Morgan Ellis. Morgan Ellis was the defenseman, I think. I hate to say it, but Gerby probably ends up being a healthy scratch, too, as we get Safronov in here. Get Gerby out of there. And then Rankin can be in for Beaverson. It's like a wholesale change on the left wing side. That right wing side, Shaw, Donskoy, Legault. What do we get out of the lineup for him? Probably going to go with Baptiste. Just to see if there's anything else we can get from Nick Baptiste before we just kind of decide, yeah, that's it. Fortunately, we're not going to have space for Colby Cave to start this year because we just have higher priorities, but he's at least on the roster. I want Draisaitl on a higher line. Go by overall from there. It's not bad. It's not bad. I could easily see both of these teams being playoff caliber this season. And in looking at the roster as well, I mean, again, particularly that left wing side, there's really not a move I want to make to bring in somebody else at this stage. Because you'd be talking about, again, John Scott or potentially even Drayson Bowman, because Ballmer could really turn into a staunch fourth liner for us, which is going to be pretty important. Whereas Bowman's kind of filler at this stage. So, and from my experience, RFAs are still not at the point where they actually drop their asking price. We're finally playoff caliber, so prepare for a 15-win season. Probably. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Let's turn off trade offer notifications so we can sim a little bit faster and see where the hell we stand at this point. Just how good or bad are the Buffalo Sabres of 2016-17 going to be? Fishy, what's going on, by the way? Hello to anybody I may have missed a hello from while focusing on this roster setup. I'm sure you can understand. I'm sure. So, goodness. All right. We're looking okay. Preseason so far so good, 3-0. Kings of the preseason, the Buffalo Sabres. Beautiful. Dude, Bailey has 3 goals as well. He might be the real surprise for us this season is Ty Bailey. I'm happy he has developed as strongly as he has. So we might go undefeated. One more game to go. Will it be an undefeated preseason for the boys in Buffalo? Please. 7-0. Of course, we're playing weaker rosters than that which we'd be playing in the regular season, but it's still a good sign to go 7-0 in the preseason. Endo, what's up? All right. Shout to John Scott leading everything for this team that a skater can lead. And we're going to lose our season opener, aren't we? Yep, 1-0. There it is. And again, that's why preseason... That is why preseason does not matter at all. But I really wouldn't be upset about us missing the playoffs again. Another high draft pick is perfectly fine by me. If we were to make the playoffs, who knows? You make it. Good things could happen. I don't think... Now, hey, I could be wrong. Knowing me... I will probably change my mind. But I don't think this will be a year where I give up certain prospects to make a playoff push. I don't think our roster's there yet. Although if I, saying that now, we'll be like 38, 12, and 5 by the deadline or some nonsense. And temptation will be there. But what are you going to do? McDavid for Crosby. In this game, Crosby does have full trade value, and surprise, surprise, the Penguins don't necessarily want to move him. So, I wouldn't be opposed to getting Sidney Crosby on another team of ours, though, Wouldn't be opposed. Goodness, 5-1-1, man. Not bad, not bad. Not bad at all. Mrs. Old Screen, love seeing who's leading in each stat. It is pretty nice. It is pretty nice. I do miss it as well. We could end up... It wouldn't be great for all of it, but I mean, technically, we can move over here. But then it'll cut off something else on the left side of the screen, so... But yeah, we can be over here now. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Shout out to Barbashev, though. 10 assists as a rookie. 6-4-2. Yeah, we're a bit of a hot and cold team this year, and that doesn't surprise me. This is the year that we're looking for a bit of growth, though, from quite a few players. So again, the scouting is going to be a pain, but it is what it is. Goodness. You just float around like a screensaver. I think there would be a way for me to set that up, but yeah, here. Let's just hit the top. No, we're going down. It's just NHL 13. No, it's NHL 14. Bing. Bong. Bing. Bong. Bing. Okay, I got bored. There you go. Hope it was worth the joke. Hope it was worth it. Goodness. Easy there, Michael J. I don't have a mouse pad, okay? Because mouse pads are for nerds. You never hit the corner. Well, what do you want? In fact, it's clipping to all the... And that's another factor, too, is it's clipping to the fact of, like, hey, hidden things on screen as well. Thank you, Endo Mills, for knowing exactly what was going on. I tried to hide it with a mouse pad comment instead of being like, well, you see, in OBS, there's all of this stuff, and it locks on. It wasn't even worth it. Wasn't even worth it. Case in point. 10, 6, and 3. Not great. Not great. If you moved it a few more inches to the left, it'd be perfect. Good? Are we good? Hold on. There we go. Here we are, everybody. NHL 14. We're crushing it. We're doing great. As a Wings fan, I can't root for the success of the Bruins. Well, as a Bruins fan, I can't root for the success of the Wings. So there you go. Mutually assured fuck yous. So much nostalgia. Sally season, what's going on? It's fun, man. It is a fun game to play. We haven't even gotten into really any gameplay yet. I played a game off stream, but, you know, we got to save gameplay for the playoffs. Showing just as much webcam as EA actually finished 24. Fair. I will do no such thing, Dusty. No such thing. We will be simulating all the time. And you will know about it. Right. 13-8-4. We're doing okay. Doing all right. Almost midway through December. Looking okay. I'm fairly happy about this. And again, question is just, do we make the playoffs? But we do have to sit through the loading times before we find out. Which is a bit of a shame. Goodness. ECL starts soon. Will we hear you? I hope so. You should. But I hope so. Yeah, here you go. Here's the next one. Yeah, it's just... Hold on. It's just... Meow. Now I'm back over here. Meow.
Fucking grass.
Shout out to Maple for the follow. Enjoy this elite content. It's the greatest. We're so good at what we do. Meow. 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 There you go. This is what we have to do to entertain ourselves when the sim speed goes at 5.5 million seconds per day. Oh, God. Oh, now, yeah, there we go. Now we go blending mode. Look at me. I'm blending. Isn't that fun? Isn't that a good time? Oh, goodness. We have fun here. We have so much fun, don't we? Don't we? Ridiculous. Anyway, should be fine. Should be fine. 19, 10, and 5. Drayson Bowman leading the team. Is it just me or has Barbashev been stuck on 20 assists forever? I feel like that's... Maybe I'm blind, but I feel like that's been the case, and he has been stuck on that for a while. Which is not ideal. At all. At all. 2K ever makes an NHL franchise mode with the speed similar to NBA 2K, it's over for EA. I mean, you know, you think of an NHL-themed NBA, all the microtransactions. Nasher would finally get his wish of being able to skate up to different ponds. Ah, yes, my friend Jim's playing over on the pond, but I'm gonna go to the roller rink and play there. I don't like that idea for NBA, and I definitely don't like it for hockey. It's difficult enough to get into games of hockey. I don't think people know how fucking annoying it is to get into games for NBA 2K, which is a massive pain in the ass. Like, like literally, the entire structure of like NBA 2K Online and the city and all that shit is so broken as to where it's like, well, we're gonna display your overall. Someone joins your game. Oh, that guy is a 60 because he didn't pay $500 to be a good overall. I'm not playing with that guy. So, you know. Literally, I saw a conversation on Twitter or Reddit. I don't remember which one. Where people openly admitted, and I'm not joking about this. I saw this with my own eyes. I will try to find it. Where literally... people admitted to if somebody had a white character, they would not play. they would back out of the game. So yeah, let's bring that to NHL. Except, well, it might go the other way, because knowing the NHL community, it would probably go the other way, because boy, this community sometimes, am I right, LG Shoutbox? Yeah. So yeah, let's avoid the NHL and 2K comparisons, please. Thank you. Some systems work for some games, barely. They definitely don't work for others. Oh, God. So, yeah. Yeah. There are problems in every game, as we know. I did pass the All-Star break. We are 26, 15, and 5. Still not good enough that I'm going to be like, yeah, let me add at the deadline, but that is good enough. There could be a special season in Buffalo. We could see a return to the postseason. 12th best team in the league right now. Not bad at all. And very, very much in the mix to make the playoffs. It's a tough race, though. There are a lot of teams in that mix, except for the New York Rangers on 35 points, who absolutely suck. Aside from that, though, it is a pretty competitive division in 2017.